Okay, listen, I understand this sweatshirt is Christmas themed. It is Christmas themed, and you know what? I love it. I think it's really cute, and I'm gonna keep wearing it even though it's April, and I will keep wearing it probably in the summer until next Christmas, and I will not apologize. It's cute. It's a nutcracker. We love her. I'm gonna be honest, I'm nervous making this video because I've talked about my health journey before with the people like closest to me, but not everyone knows like the in details and everything that's gone on. So I'm a little bit nervous just to like say all of this. So give me some grace if you can. I'm learning as I go still. And this health journey is not over. I feel like now I'm at the beginning. I'm finally starting my health journey the right way. I just want to give a disclaimer that if you're sensitive to health issues, doctor's appointments, reproductive health, fertility issues, or anything like that, it's okay to skip this. I know health issues can be triggering for some people, so I totally understand, and no worries at all. I hope it's obvious. I am a woman. You do get your period at some point. My period started when I was 12, and almost from the beginning you could tell it wasn't normal. I know obviously with a lot of girls your period is not regular for the first couple years, your body's adjusting. Mine would never got regular basically, and the cramps were so intense some days that it was like I'd throw up from pain. I had to like leave school early a couple times from how bad the pain got. I couldn't like function or do anything. It kept getting increasingly worse until and then I went running, just like a little jog around the neighborhood. I used to run all the time. My mom's a runner, so she kind of inspired me to run a good bit of my life is running, to like be like her, because she was an amazing runner. So I went for a run and I came back and just collapsed on the floor because I had a cyst rupture during that run. So I came back, just collapsed on the floor, couldn't get up. We called my primary, which at the time I was 16, so it was a pediatrician. She's great family friend. She, through clues and everything, was able to figure out that it was a cyst rupture, and that was my first cyst rupture, was at 16. And that kind of escalated to me going to my first OBGYN appointment. One vacation that I went on with my family to the beach, my pain got so bad to where I could not leave like the bed of the hotel for the first half of the day. I like I didn't have my heating pad because we were on vacation, and it was so irregular I couldn't like time it out well. So I didn't have necessarily all like what I normally have, like my heating pad, compresses and everything. So I had to just take Tylenol because that's what we had at the time with us, to let it blow over and let the pain like subside enough to I can actually enjoy the vacation, go swim, walk around, do anything, because I couldn't stand up because the pain was that bad. I think that's when my mom realized exactly how bad it was, and she took me to my first OB appointment. So I saw my first OBGYN at 16 years old. I saw my first OB at 16. She put me on birth control like most doctors do to help manage a lot of the cramps and the symptoms and everything. I think most women know this, that a lot of doctors will just throw birth control at you and call it a day. And that's kind of what she did at first. And when the pain didn't get better, I'd go to her crying about how bad the pain still was. And then on birth control I started gaining a lot of weight, and that's when my weight gain started. So she ended up ordering some ultrasounds, some tests. I got diagnosed with PCOS at 16. I know I am lucky to be diagnosed at 16 years old with PCOS. A lot of women get into their 40s and their 50s and have significant trouble getting diagnosed. So I'm really lucky to get diagnosed at such a young age for this, but it still comes with its challenges. With that diagnosis, I feel like I was still having a lot of trouble communicating with my OB. I feel like, and this is just my side of course, but she didn't necessarily hear a lot what I was saying. She would just tell me, move more, eat less. That comes to be a reoccurring saying with a lot of doctors, just move around more, eat less. Most people wish it was that easy. A lot of people it's not, and I'm just one of them that it's not. I was complaining about pain so much that she decided to do a surgery to find out if I had endometriosis. Turns out I did. I had my endometriosis surgery. We did an abrasion to burn whatever they could find. And this was my first surgery. I was 17 years old at the time. This is the first time me going under anesthesia, but they were able to find the endometriosis. So I finally felt like I had answers. So now I'm diagnosed at 17 with PCOS and endometriosis. So the question is, what is PCOS? What is endometriosis? That's a big word. Like, what in the world is that? It's a lot. So I'm gonna post screenshots from medical websites that I found. I'm gonna post the PCOS one here. Feel free to screenshot or pause the video to read exactly what it is. But basically it's a bunch of multiple small cysts covering your ovaries and unbalancing your hormones. What is endometriosis? Here's another definition from mayoclinic.org. Feel free to pause that if you want to read in detail exactly what it is. But there's actually not a bunch of research on how it's caused and where exactly it comes from. It's all relatively new, actually. For those that don't know, the color yellow is actually the awareness color for endometriosis. So I will be adding a lot more yellow to my wardrobe and a lot more yellow in my life. Somewhere along that way, I was also diagnosed with insulin resistance. Diabetes is a huge thing in my family. We do live in the South, so it's not an uncommon thing to be diagnosed with diabetes, unfortunately. So me having insulin resistance was kind of expected, but obviously don't want that from the get-go. We try to limit my sugars and approach that with caution. After that, I was still having pains. I wasn't feeling great, but some time went by and it kept coming over her with pain. She kept brushing it off, or that's what it felt like for me, at least, is that she was just brushing it off. I didn't have a great experience with her or her nurse, actually. Because of that, thankfully I switched doctors. At this time I am seeing an OBGYN at a whole different hospital, whole different facility. I explained everything going on to him. He decided to order an ultrasound. This is now in 2021, so I'm 20 years old now. This is about 3 years from my first surgery to now. With him, with my pain and everything, we figured out, and with that ultrasound we found a cyst. It was the size of a lemon. He described it as a complex cyst. I don't know all the medical terms and everything, honestly. I don't want to butcher it, but basically it was multi-layered. It was like cyst on top of cyst, with different fluids and bottle and all that good stuff I won't get too much into detail about, but they found that cyst the size of a lemon. And I felt relief, truly, because knowing and finding that, I felt heard, I felt seen, I felt like I wasn't crazy. We knew with the PCOS that I was prone to cysts. So we decided to have the go ahead and proceed with the surgery to remove said cyst because I was having pretty bad pain with it. I have a suspicion that a couple of them ruptured independently because I was just in enormous pain coming up to the surgery. I went ahead and had that surgery. So I'm now, at this point in the timeline, I'm 20 years old with 2 surgeries on my ovaries, one removing endometriosis and scar tissue from my previous cyst rupture, and the second one getting that cyst out. So I had a couple months from that surgery of relief and no pain, and it was glorious. It was so great having no pain. And then the pain kind of came back. So, and we realized it's just my symptoms. It's endometriosis. We just had to keep dealing with it essentially and finding ways to deal with it. So I was on birth control for that time. We were just figuring out how to manage my pain, how to know when a cyst is formed, when I should take it easy, when it's coming, and all that good stuff. My first doctor, she told me with my PCOS and my endometriosis, I was going to be basically on birth control forever. And then when we did want to try to have kids, it was going to be very difficult, if possible at all, to have kids. Her nurse told me it wasn't possible to have kids with both diseases, so I was prepared at 16 that I would never have kids. I would love kids. I want kids. So it's definitely something I see in our future. So then my second doctor said I shouldn't have problems at all having kids. It shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. In between the first and second doctor, I did see a holistic nutritionist, lifestyle coach, and she put me on the elimination diet. She believed with the PCOS that my entire body was inflamed, to see what exactly is inflaming me, what exactly I'm allergic to or resistant to. It helped tremendously. I felt a lot better. I was finally able to lose some of that weight I was so self-conscious about. With that elimination diet though, it was extremely difficult, and it was my senior year of high school, so I was going through all the final exams, graduation, preparing for college, and doing this extremely strict diet. The elimination diet essentially is a diet where you're getting rid of every single food that could have allergies. The common ones, of course, peanuts, nuts, eggs is not a lot of people realize. Eggs, soy, dairy, gluten, like everything that has an allergy essentially. And then I also could not have any kind of beef or like red meat as well, so I had to get rid of pork and beef. So really all I could eat was certain vegetables, not all vegetables. I could have berries, but I couldn't have like watermelon, bananas, anything like that. Grilled chicken, a lot of grilled chicken, a lot of vegetables. So, and I could have vegan protein powder because I couldn't have the whey and the protein, like regular protein powder. So I had to get vegan protein powder, and that's what I lived off of for the last like 3 months of my senior year of high school. But it was just so difficult, and she kept pushing it back on like when to start introducing certain foods back in to my diet to see like what triggers me, what doesn't, because you add one at a time back in. So 2023 comes along. I got married, a lot of people know, in January of 2022. So going to May of 2023, I was now married for over a year. We decided we wanted to start trying for kids. So we started trying. I was fine and having a period and everything like regular until August. From August, I had about 5 months. My symptoms just got really bad. I didn't have a period for those 5 months at all. My nausea was really bad. What's crazy is because PCOS is a hormone, like affects your hormones more than anything. A lot of the symptoms of your PCOS flaring up is the same symptoms as pregnancy. So we got really hopeful. We went to a doctor's appointment. He said to take a test. Got really excited, and all tests came back negative. And we were crushed, but it's okay. It's just not in our plan right now. So we were struggling with that for about 5 months. In December, I was graduating from college. Go Nichols, go Colonels. I was graduating from college, and I was getting ready for finals when I had 2 cyst ruptures. One cyst rupture was 2 weeks before finals, with like final assignments coming in and prepping for those finals. And then I had another cyst rupture during finals week. The best way I know how to describe what really happened at that time, my husband I haven't had a cyst rupture in quite a while, so it was kind of significant for me. This is the first time like living with my husband that he experienced me having a cyst rupture. So I basically like crawled out our bedroom. It was like, I need my laptop, so I gotta take a quiz. I need my heating pad. I need my medicine. I need all the things. He should come set me up. So he like brought me to bed, set me up with my laptop and heating pad so I could take that finance quiz. So if anybody ever said I did not work hard for my degree, that is false, because I went through it. And that's just me making light of this. So it was difficult. All you can really do is just move past it at this point. I did pass and I did get my degree. So after my graduation, I bit the bullet, went back to my OBGYN, put me back on birth control, essentially reset myself and get myself healthy before we can start trying for kids. They gave me the option to take birth control again, of course, or to take a medicine to basically make me have a period, and our likelihood of getting pregnant would be much higher. But at this point, my symptoms were really bad. I made the tough decision to take care of myself so that way we can have a healthy pregnancy, a healthy child, healthy babies, and all the good things. So I decided to take this time to myself, to heal myself, and it was a really hard decision. I only cried about it once, shockingly, but I mean, it was a hard decision, but you can only go up from here. This was my bottom point. I know how to get myself better before I can do anything with like having a baby. So back on birth control, and I start going crazy with the research. I'm researching everything I can. I am looking up on Pinterest PCOS recipes, what to avoid on PCOS specialists, endocrinologists, hormone disorder. Like, I'm looking up everything. And around this time, when they put me back on the birth control, I started having a period again. This is TMI, fair warning. I started having a period again, but from January to March, I did not stop having a period. It was constant pain. It was not necessarily a fun time. And the same time, I was able to find a PCOS specialist in my area. So I went back to the first hospital actually that I had my first OB at, but a different doctor, different floor, different wing completely. And as I'm waiting for that appointment, I started trying to take vitamins, more vitamins. Iositol is one of them. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but that's one medicine I saw that was like insanely recommended. So I got that, started hydrating a lot more, drinking a lot more water. I was already, I feel like, drinking a good bit of water, but now more hydrating, more more electrolytes. I found out that gluten and dairy are actually really bad for PCOS because they're naturally inflammatory foods, and with PCOS it's important to try to keep in the inflammatory and not let your body get too inflamed. So I figured out that, so I started doing that. A couple months go by, I'm feeling better, but not crazy better by any means, but it's definitely getting better. But I'm also not being crazy strict with this diet either. I had a plateau moment. I cried, I screamed, I did more research. And it just got to that point where I was so frustrated and so over it. I'm at this point having a period for 2 months now. I'm starving. I'm not really eating a lot because I don't know what to eat, so I'm not eating a lot. I figured it's better not to eat. I kept telling myself it's okay to be hungry. That's not the great mentality. Do not have that mentality. Do not. If you learn anything from this video, don't let it be that. So I kept doing more research, and I saw it was heavily recommended to also cut out anything from a pig or a cow. And that's kind of what I did with the elimination diet, and I know that worked. So I decided to also do that. My diet now in early February is nothing from a pig or a cow, no dairy, no gluten. And then I did figure out along this journey that I'm allergic to soy. I'm not deathly allergic by any means, but it definitely affects me. So I'm also trying to stay away from soy, which is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult to do, especially like on Pinterest. I find when you're looking up a lot of these recipes, they're very Asian inspired a lot of times, and there's soy sauce involved. Fun fact, soy sauce has gluten in it, just in case you didn't know, because we started having, if we do eat soy, get gluten-free soy sauce to make for the house, because every now and then we just do like brown rice, fried rice and stuff with chicken, so we had to get gluten-free soy sauce. A little hot tip for you. A lot of things have gluten in it that people don't realize. A lot of seasonings down here have a lot of gluten in it. Alcohol, good bit of alcohol has gluten in it as well. I don't drink beer, but a lot of beer has wheat in it, which is gluten. So it's a lot of finding out what has gluten, what doesn't have gluten, and it's a lot of research. It's a lot of planning your meals. If I don't plan my meals and I eat out a lot, even if it's gluten-free eating out or healthy eating out, it's really not. It's still processed. The seasonings could have a bunch of stuff in it that my body just doesn't like. It's easier to do this if you're able to plan your meals out. I also figured out running is not great with PCOS management. High intensity training is not necessarily great. The best workouts you can do with PCOS to actually help you and your body and to lose weight is weight training, and it's step counts. So a lot of people do at least 10,000 steps a day. So it's nothing high intensity, but you're moving, you're getting your steps in. And then the weight training. I started working with a trainer who's actually a friend of mine. I started working out with a friend, Kelsey, and she was able to make a workout plan for me. With that workout plan, I send her pictures every week for updates, and she adjusts it week by week how needed, and I'm able to follow that. Because the hardest thing with a workout, I feel like, is just, what do you do? What do you do? What do you start at? And I was running for a good bit and doing a lot of that, but I haven't been weight training. Having her is so great. I really appreciate her. I appreciate all the help she has given me. So I'm working out, getting steps in, and then I'm on this very strict diet. This is all within recent months. I had my next OB appointment with this PCOS specialist. With that appointment, he told me my birth control is not strong enough. I needed to get a higher dosage, and I was not happy about that. But we have a game plan moving forward to slowly get me off birth control, so I'm hopeful for that. But right now, he's put me on a higher dosage. You know, you just gotta tell yourself it's just the season of life you're in. It's gonna get better. It's gonna be okay. A lot of the pains I was having is, of course, he confirmed related to endometriosis, and with that endometriosis, it comes with a lot more pains than people realize. So just managing my pain with that, along with the hormones and the diet and the exercise and the vitamins with PCOS. So about a month goes by and I go to my primary care doctor. She informs me I'm not eating enough. People might have their opinions about this, but I feel like a lot of weight training vlogs, how I lost weight, how to lose weight, all those kinds of things from Pinterest, YouTube videos, TikToks, when it comes to food, is always eat less, cut your proportions, cut your calories. I was not eating enough calories, it's wild because you hear that so much, to cut, and then I cut way too much. I was exhausted all the time. I just did not have energy at all whatsoever throughout the day. It made my workouts really hard. I was relying on caffeine. She even said like everything I was eating was really great. I just wasn't eating nearly enough. With that, we increased my protein intake. I was eating about 60 grams of protein a day. Now I'm eating 150 grams of protein a day. That's a lot. That's a lot to jump from 60 to 150. Call me crazy, but that's a big jump to me. And listen, I know a lot of people that watch this know me and they're here to support me. If you made it this long, I apologize. Don't get mad at me. My calorie intake was about 600 calories a day. Between like 600 and 800 calories a day. My food insecurities are high because, all of this going on. Now we increased it to a range of 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day. So I'm basically doubling what I'm eating in a day and making sure I'm getting a lot of protein in. So everything I eat has protein in it, a good amount of protein in it. It's great. It was definitely a jump. So that's kind of where I am now. I'm learning to adjust to the new diet, to the exercise regimen with that new diet, having more energy, being able to do more. I do find I'm hungrier more now that I'm eating more. I guess my metabolism's starting back up again because it kind of crashed there for a second. It's definitely crazy. I feel like before and after just a week of doing that, I felt way less inflamed, which is a crazy concept to think. Really great. I'm feeling a lot better now. So it's kind of where we are now. There is a plan to get me off birth control eventually so we can start trying for kids again because I want all the babies. My baby fever is bad. Is bad. I know that was a lot. This video is getting, this one that I'm recording is about 30 minutes and I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to add stuff if I have any clips or footage or anything. But yeah, so this is just episode 1 of my health journey. Future episodes are not going to be this intense and this crazy. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the support. You can only go up from here. Everything's gonna get better. Future videos are going to be what I eat in a day, how I meal plan, the stuff that I eat on a daily and weekly, what I do when I go out to eat and all that good stuff, my workout routine. I might get enough courage to do that. It's going to take a second, but I might get enough courage to do that. So this is going to be another series that I'm going to be doing on my channel. So have an amazing day. Spirit fingers. Okay.